God's message today is this: even in silence, I hear you, and my beloved child. I want you to know that though you have walked through valleys of quietness, where it felt like your prayers floated into emptiness, I have been closer than your breath the entire time, and every word you didn't say, every thought you tucked away, every tear you wiped quickly before anyone saw it all. And I cherished it in the depths of my heart, for I am not just a God who answers. I am a God who watches, who listens, who stays near when others walk away. And I have not been distant from you. I have been silent for a purpose, because sometimes silence is not a punishment, it is the protection of what I'm preparing. And while you thought I was doing nothing, I was doing everything. I was behind the scenes, rerouting battles, calming storms you never knew were coming, preparing divine timing so perfect that if I had spoken too soon, it would have ruined what I was building for your good. And I want you to know today that I am still here, still faithful, still working, and you have not been forgotten. You have not been disqualified. You are not abandoned, for I promised I would never leave you nor forsake you. And even now I send angels to surround you, not just for protection, but for reassurance, because your silence has not been ignored, has been honored. And every time you worshipped with a broken heart, every time you showed up when you felt empty, every time you chose to believe when you heard nothing back, you were sowing into a harvest of divine intimacy. And now the time has come for me to remind you that silence has a sound in heaven. It echoes louder than loud praise when it's rooted in trust. And you, my child, have trusted me in the silence. And that trust is about to birth the breakthrough you didn't even think was possible. Because I am not just a God of thunder. I am the God who whispers. I am the God who sat with Elijah in the cave and didn't shout, but whispered truth. And I'm whispering to you now, saying, I'm still here. I'm still moving. I'm still writing your story. And though you feel like nothing is shifting, I want you to know that the shift began the moment you refused to quit. The moment you said, even if he slays me, yet will I trust him. The moment you decided my silence was not rejection, but refinement. And I have refined you like gold. I have burned off the fear, the need for instant answers, the idols of comfort. And I have left only what is eternal: your love for me, your trust in me, your hunger for more of me. And now I say to you, you are entering a season where I will begin to reveal what I've hidden. I will speak in ways you understand. I will confirm what you've prayed for in secret with answers in the open. But first, I needed you to know that my silence never meant absence. It meant strategy. It meant I was aligning things on a timeline higher than yours, and I need you to keep believing, keep staying, keep seeking me. Because in your silence, I was building your ears to hear me more clearly. And now that your ears are tuned to my voice, now that you no longer chase noise, but truth, now that you've learned to rest even when the room feels empty, you are ready for the next chapter. The one where my voice returns with fire, where my presence flows like water, where my word breaks through every doubt, and you will look back and thank me for the silence. Because you'll see, it wasn't a punishment, it was a preparation. It was where you were trained, where you were formed, where you learned to be still and know that I am God. And now you will walk forward with a new strength, not based on signs, not based on noise, but based on faith, deep and unshakable faith, the kind of faith that shakes hell and moves mountains. And I am proud of you. I am proud that you didn't walk away, that you didn't numb yourself with distractions, that you stayed open, honest, vulnerable with me. And now I will reward you with clarity. Not just blessings, but understanding. Not just provision, but presence. And I say again, I have heard every silent prayer. I have read every unspoken journal. I have felt every ache you tried to hide. And I collected them like precious treasure. For you are my treasure, and I rejoice over you with singing. I cover you with love, and I surround you with my spirit even now. So let the silence turn into praise. Let the quietness become a canvas for my voice, and do not rush out of this moment. Watch this message till the very end, because what I am doing in your spirit is deeper than motivation. It's transformation. And if you let this word rest in you, it will become the anchor for your next season. For what I am birthing in you is too big to need constant noise. Needs peace, it needs stillness, it needs trust. So stay with me, walk with me, and know, even in silence, I have always heard you. My beloved child, I know what you didn't say, know the words you swallowed because you were afraid they would make you sound weak. I know the prayers you almost prayed but decided to keep hidden. I know the dreams you tucked away in the back of your heart because they've been disappointed too many times. And I see every corner of your soul that even you try to avoid. And yet I love you with a love that is not scared of silence, not ashamed of sorrow, not threatened by doubt, and not confused by your quiet, because I am the God who understands what's beneath the surface. I am the God who speaks the language of tears, of silence, of breathless heartbreak, and I know how to hold the things you couldn't find words for. I know the ache behind your smile, the storm beneath your composure, the questions hidden inside your I'm fine, and I never needed you to impress me. I needed you to bring me the real, raw version of your soul, and even when you couldn't, even when the pain was too deep to speak, too complex to explain, too heavy to release, I leaned in closer, I wrapped my spirit around your mind, and I whispered, you don't need to explain, I already know, because my child, I was there when it broke. I was there when you lost what meant everything. I was there when you gave your best and were met with silence from the world. And I was there when your strength gave out and you didn't have the energy to pray one more time. And even then, especially then, I was listening, and I want you to know today that what you didn't say still reached me. It reached my throne like incense, like worship without words. Because silence spoken from trust is a song I never ignore. And in your stillness, I heard the depth of your faith. I heard the honesty of your surrender. I heard the weight of your longing, and I treasured it all. For I am not the God who demands performance. I am the God who meets you in authenticity, in the mess, in the unspoken tension between hope and disappointment. And I tell you now, I have not missed anything. Not one moment, not one cry, not one breath, not one time you turned your face to heaven and said, God, do you still see me? Yes, I see you. And yes, I know everything you didn't say out loud. And not only do I understand it, but I'm already moving in response to it. I'm already writing healing into the places you locked up. I'm already sending answers into rooms you didn't even have the courage to ask for. I'm already working in the silence, because that's where I do my deepest miracles. Not always in the noise of breakthroughs, but in the stillness, where intimacy is born, where trust is forged, where you learn that I don't love you because of what you say, love you because of who you are. And even when you say nothing, I hear the echo of your faith, the breath of your survival, the vibration of your hope, and I am responding. I am opening doors not because you demanded it, but because I delight in you. I am restoring what you never thought could be healed because I know the pain you didn't talk about. I am sending peace into rooms where fear kept you quiet. I am filling the silence with glory. And even though it felt like I was far, I was Never absent, no. I was gathering the unspoken pieces of your soul and forming something holy, something whole. And today I ask you to stop punishing yourself for not being louder. Stop believing the lie that your quietness made you weak. Stop hiding your pain like it disqualifies you from love, because I am love and I saw it all, and I stayed, I remained, I embraced every part of you you thought was unworthy, and I call you by name, now not forgotten, not overlooked, not muted, but seen, chosen, known, heard, and I say, let your silence be your sanctuary. Let it be the sacred space where I speak what you've always needed to hear, because I am speaking now, not through earthquakes or fire, but through stillness, through this very message, and I am saying, I know, I know, I know, I know, I'm still here. I'm still good. I'm still God. I'm still God, and my love for you is louder than anything you didn't say. So let me hold what you couldn't explain. Let me take the things you were afraid to feel. Let me speak healing into the places you thought were unreachable. Because nothing in you is too dark for my light. Nothing in you is too complicated for my wisdom. Nothing in you is too broken for my restoration. And I say again everything you didn't say, I already understood, and I am already transforming it into something beautiful. And if you let me, if you trust me with even your unspoken wounds, I will turn your silence into testimony, your stillness into strength, your quiet survival. God's message today is this: my precious child, I saw the day the light in your eyes faded a little, and the pain became so personal you couldn't even tell anyone about it. I saw the night you curled up under the blanket, not to sleep, but to hide your emotions from a world that always asks you to be strong. I watched as you quietly broke, not in public, not in noise, but in private silence, where your thoughts screamed louder than your voice ever could. And I want you to know today that I was there, not above you watching, not far away planning. I was there, beside you, closer than your skin, holding your breath in my hands, catching the tears you didn't let fall, whispering love over your shattering soul. And no, I didn't always speak the way you wanted. I didn't always move the mountain in the hour you prayed for it. But not once did I leave you alone in the fire. And every ounce of pain you felt, I felt too. Every ache in your heart echoed in mine. Because I don't just understand suffering, I stepped into it. I chose it. I lived it. I bled with it. I died in it. And that's how I became your savior. Not from a distance, but from a cross. And so when I say, I sat with you in the pain, I don't mean metaphorically, I mean truly, deeply, supernaturally present. When you cried in the shower, I cried with you. When you walked into rooms pretending to be okay, I walked beside you and shielded your soul from complete collapse. And when you wanted to scream but stayed quiet, I heard it anyway. And when you whispered, God, I can't do this anymore, I held the weight so it wouldn't crush you. And I kept you alive, not just because of what I planned to do through you, but because I love you enough to stay in the pain with you, not rush you out of it, not pressure you to be strong, but simply be there. And I was, and I am, and I still am. And today I want to remind you that your pain was never proof of my absence. It was proof of your humanity. And I am the God who meets humanity in its rawest form and transforms it not with shame but with compassion. And I sat with you when everyone else moved on. I listened when you had no words left. I waited when you gave up waiting. And I loved you when you couldn't even love yourself, because my love is not based on your healing, it is your healing. My presence is not reserved for the fixed, it's for the fragile, and that includes you. And though you may have questioned if I noticed, questioned why I let it go on so long, questioned whether your faith meant anything. I want you to know that every second of your suffering mattered to me, and not a single drop of it will be wasted, because I am not just a redeemer of time, I am a redeemer of tears, and I will use everything the enemy tried to destroy you with to build something holy in you. And when you said, "Why me?" I didn't look away, sat closer, and I listened to your spirit groan with the words your mouth couldn't speak. And I say to you now, your pain is not pointless, your journey is not over, your story is not ending in the valley, because I am writing resurrection into your wilderness. I am speaking life into the places you buried with silence. And I say again, I sat with you in the pain not because I couldn't stop it, but because in sitting with you, I gave you strength. You didn't know you had grace you didn't recognize at the time, breath when you were suffocating, and peace that kept you from drowning. And I know you don't always see it as a miracle, but the fact that you're still here, still breathing, still open to this message, it's proof that something deeper than pain was holding you. And that something was me, and now I want to lead you gently into healing, not quickly, not forcefully, but gently, like a shepherd who knows exactly where you've been and exactly where you're going. And I say this to your heart, be kind to yourself. Stop blaming yourself for breaking. Stop hiding the scars I'm proud to redeem. Stop believing you were supposed to be stronger. Because what you call weakness, I call intimacy. What you call shame, I call invitation. And I'm inviting you again into a place of peace, not where you forget the pain, but where the pain no longer defines you. Because I was there in it all, and I am still here now, calling you into wholeness, into healing, into light. And yes, I will restore what was lost. I will make sense of the seasons that almost took you out. I will breathe joy where despair lived for too long, and you will not carry the identity of pain forever. For I am rewriting the narrative, and it ends in beauty. It ends in breakthrough. It ends in me, because I have never left your side, and I never will. My beloved child, the time of silence is lifting, and now I speak loudly, clearly, intimately, and I speak breakthrough over your life, over your family, over your heart, over the places where the silence nearly convinced you I was gone. For I was never absent, only waiting, never neglecting, only preparing. And today I open my mouth on your behalf, and I declare that this is your appointed time. This is the season where the quiet turns into sound, where the unseen becomes visible, where the long-awaited promises begin to breathe. And I am breaking the silence, not just with words, but with wonders, not just with phrases, but with power. Because I have seen your faithfulness when you heard nothing. I have seen you stand when you felt nothing. I have seen you sow prayers into dry ground and still believe that harvest would come. And now the harvest begins, and I want you to hear me. The silence was not punishment. It was the tension before the miracle, the hush before the holy, the stillness that allowed you to hear me without the clutter of the world. And now I speak, not because I withheld love, but because your heart is ready to hear the fullness of what I've always wanted to say. And what I say now is this: you are healed. You are whole, you are chosen, you are rising, you are covered, and you are about to see me move in ways your silence could never explain, but your spirit always hoped for. Because this is the moment where your stillness meets my sound, where your pain meets my purpose, where your tears meet my timing. And I say again, breakthrough is not coming, breakthrough is here. Even now, as you hear this, things are shifting, angels are moving, closed doors are trembling at the weight of your endurance, walls are cracking under the pressure of your obedience. Chains are breaking, not because you shouted loud enough, but because you stayed close enough, and because you stayed, I stayed. And now, I step in visibly, undeniably, gloriously, with blessing in my hand and fire in my voice. For I am the God who repays in full, who restores in double, who gives beauty for ashes, who raises the dead things and breathes on the forgotten things. And I have not forgotten you, I have not misplaced you, I have not delayed you to destroy you, delayed to develop you. And now that you've been shaped by the silence, strengthened by the weight, humbled by the hiddenness, you are ready to walk in the favor that won't crush you, in the increase that won't distract you, in the breakthrough that won't pull you from me. And I tell you now, the very thing you thought would never happen is already unfolding. The healing you thought you'd never feel again is already awakening in your chest. The relationships you thought were broken beyond repair are being revisited by my Spirit even now. The clarity you begged me for is being released with revelation. That will make your heart burn with joy. And I want you to stay here, sit with this, listen to it again and again, because the words are not just poetry, they are prophecy. They are living breath. They are my voice through this message, reaching into your bedroom, your kitchen, your workplace, your broken places, and saying, come out, come forth, walk in it now. Because I no longer want you to wait for the die, want you to claim the moment where my silence breaks, where my voice becomes your healing, where my word becomes your weapon, where my breath becomes your wind. And I am lifting the fog. I am closing the chapters of delay and disappointment, and I am giving you new language for this next season. You will not call it suffering, you will call it sacred. You will not call it failure, you will call it forming. And now that you know I've been with you in silence, you will trust me with the sound. You will move with me, dream again, speak again, write again, sing again, love again, believe again, because I have spoken. And my word does not return void. It accomplishes what I send it for. And I have sent this message like an arrow into your life to declare, you are stepping into divine release. Your breakthrough is signed, sealed, and delivered, not by men, not by striving, but by my Spirit. And I say now, go forward. No more hesitation, no more shrinking back, no more second guessing whether I am with you. I am with you now and forever, and my silence was never proof of my distance. It was the womb of your destiny, the place where I hid you to shape you, and now I release you. Now I call you into the full manifestation of every hidden miracle. And I tell you, declare it, believe it, claim it, and play this message over your life like a banner of truth. Because your new beginning isn't next week, it's now. It's here, it's alive, and I'm speaking it into being, and nothing. No devil, no delay, no doubt can stop it, because I have broken the silence, and I have spoken your name. The pain, I don't mean metaphorically, mean truly, deeply, supernaturally present. When you cried in the shower, I cried with you. When you walked into rooms pretending to be okay, I walked beside you and shielded your soul from complete collapse. And when you wanted to scream but stayed quiet, I heard it anyway. And when you whispered, God, I can't do this anymore, I held the weight so it wouldn't crush you. And I kept you alive, not just because of what I planned to do through you, but because I love you enough to stay in the pain with you. Not rush you out of it, not pressure you to be strong, but simply be there. And I was, and I am, and I still am. And today, I want to remind you that your pain was never proof of my absence. It was proof of your humanity. And I am the God who meets humanity in its rawest form and transforms it not with shame but with compassion. And I sat with you when everyone else moved on. I listened when you had no words left. I waited when you gave up waiting. And I loved you when you couldn't even love yourself, because my love is not based on your healing, is your healing. My presence is not reserved for the fixed, it's for the fragile, and that includes you. And though you may have questioned if I noticed, questioned why I let it go on so long, questioned whether your faith meant anything, I want you to know that every second of your suffering mattered to me, and not a single drop of it will be wasted, because I am not just a redeemer of time, I am a redeemer of tears, and I will use everything the enemy tried to destroy you with to build something holy in you. And when you said, "Why me?" I didn't look away, sat closer, and I listened to your spirit groan with the words your mouth couldn't speak. And I say to you now, your pain is not pointless. Your journey is not over. Your story is not ending in the valley, because I am writing resurrection into your wilderness. I am speaking life into the places you buried with silence. And I say, again, I sat with you in the pain, not because I couldn't stop it, but because in sitting with you, I gave you strength you didn't know you had, grace you didn't recognize at the time, breath when you were suffocating, and peace that kept you from drowning. And I know you don't always see it as a miracle, but the fact that you're still here, still breathing, still open to this message, just proof that something deeper than pain was holding you, and that something was me. And now I want to lead you gently into healing, not quickly, not forcefully, but gently, like a shepherd who knows exactly where you've been and exactly where you're going. And I say this to your heart, be kind to yourself. Stop blaming yourself for breaking. Stop hiding the scars I'm proud to redeem. Stop believing you were supposed to be stronger. Because what you call weakness, I call intimacy. What you call shame, I call invitation. And I'm inviting you again into a place of peace, not where you forget the pain, but where the pain no longer defines you. Because I was there in it all, and I am still here now, calling you into wholeness, into healing, into light. And yes, I will restore what was lost. I will make sense of the seasons that almost took you out. I will breathe joy where despair lived for too long, and you will not carry the identity of pain forever. For I am rewriting the narrative, and it ends in beauty. It ends in breakthrough. It ends in me, because I have never left your side, and I never will. God's message today is this: my beloved child, I invite you now not only to receive my message, but to respond in prayer, to open your heart wide and let me pour in the fullness of what I've longed to give you, because this is the moment where silence gives way to surrender, and surrender leads to supernatural peace. And I am here, not just to speak over you, but to pray with you, to lift up your soul before the Father. For I am your intercessor, your advocate, your high priest who lives forever to make intercession on your behalf. Hebrews 7:25. And right now, in this sacred moment, I stretch my hands over your life and speak life, peace, and strength. And I ask you, my child, to pause and simply breathe, because even your breath is a form of worship. And now, let us pray together. Father, thank you for never leaving us in silence. Thank you for being the God who listens to our cries, our groans, our unspoken pain. Thank you for hearing us even when we had no words. And today we come with humble hearts, asking for renewed strength in our waiting, for clarity in our confusion, and for joy in our sorrow. For you promised, call to me and I will answer you and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know. Jeremiah 30:3. And so we call to you now, not out of panic, but out of trust, believing that even when you are quiet, You are not inactive, even when we feel alone, we are surrounded. And I declare over you now, my child. Psalm 34:17-18. The righteous cry out, and the Lord hears them. He delivers them from all their troubles. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted, and saves those who are crushed in spirit. And this promise is not just for someone else, it's for you. It's for the nights you wept and whispered, God, are you still here? And I say, yes, I am still here. And I am answering you with a peace that passes understanding, with hope that refuses to die. And I pray over your family now, over the ones you've been lifting up in silence, over the ones you're afraid to lose. And I declare, Numbers 6:24-26. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. And may this peace be more than a moment. May it be your atmosphere. May it rest on your children, your spouse, your future, your legacy. And I now lead you in personal prayer. So lift your voice with me, even if it's trembling. Jesus, I surrender. I surrender the pain I couldn't explain, the burdens I couldn't carry, the hope I was scared to hold. I give you my heart, again, not just the polished part, but the parts I tried to hide. I trust that you have been with me in the silence, and I believe you are now speaking life over me again. Help me to rest in your timing, to believe in your love, to cling to your word. Speak to my spirit and open my ears to your voice. Amen. And now, hear me clearly. Your prayer has been received. Your heart has been heard, and though you may not see the full answer yet, the shift has begun. The heavens are open, and angels have been assigned. Because I am the same Jesus who prayed in Gethsemane, who groaned with compassion for the hurting, who wept at the tomb of Lazarus, and who now intercedes for you with eternal mercy. And I declare Psalm 91:15 over you. He will call on me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. And this is my promise. You will not stay stuck in the season of silence, because this silence has always been sacred, and it has become the foundation of your fire, the root of your resilience, and the echo chamber of your faith. And I seal this series of messages with Romans 8:26-28. In the same way, the Spirit helps us in our weakness. We do not know what we ought to pray for, but the Spirit himself intercedes for us with groans that words cannot express. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him. And yes, my child, you love me, and that love will never return empty. It will always bring you closer to breakthrough, to beauty, to wholeness. And as you play this prayer again, as you listen while driving, while working, while sleeping, let it become a river that washes over your weary soul. Let the word of God be planted deep in your spirit. For I speak one final verse over you, Isaiah 4. He death, so do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand, and I, the Lord your God, have not only heard you, have held you. I have fought for you, and now I fill you with supernatural rest, divine peace, and renewed joy, for even in silence, I was preparing this moment of connection, and now I speak, I bless, and I remain with you always.